Hey guys, I picked up some coins today. Can you tell what kind? Yep, that's right, Morgans. So I went to an old guy today. One day I'm going to see if I can interview him. But I picked up some Morgans. I picked some up to fill this book and also some to post on eBay. So I'll show you the ones I'm going to post on eBay, and then we'll fill this book. And I wrote down the mintages. So some of these are low mint, some are kind of mid-range, like mid-mint, I guess you could say. So I'll first show you the ones that I'm going to list on eBay in case you're interested. So I think these are the ones. So here is a 1904. This is a 1904 Philly, and I'm going to take it out of here. Let me see. Well, usually I have a pair of scissors nearby, but I don't. Okay. So I'll show you this one real quick. 1904. I might try to just brush it with a microfiber rag just to kind of get some of the light debris off, the light kind of stains, but I'm not going to clean it. Just a little brush. Sometimes I use a t-shirt, but that's about as much as I do. Especially with these kind of coins, I don't use any kind of chemicals. In some of my videos, you see I clean coins, but those are ones that are worth just about melt. Any that have any value above melt, I don't clean. I might just kind of brush off a little bit. And these have a mintage of 2.7 mil. These are pretty rare. And this was the last year of Morgans, and I have two of them. I have this one. Just kind of showcase this one a little bit, and I have another one. Same thing, 1904p. So I'll do a little research, and then I'll list these on eBay. If you're interested in them, they're for sale. And here's a 1902. Same thing, 1902 Philly, I believe. Yeah, 1902 Philly. 1902 Philly has a mintage of 7.9 mil. And silver right now is at a 14-year high. I think 14, 13-year high, something like that. But it's 38.60. And the melt on a Morgan right now is just shy of $30. I think the melt is like $29.87 or something like that. I'll put it on the screen. So these will be for sale. The link to the eBay is in the description. Like I said, that's all kind of advertisement I do just to promote the channel. And real quick before I get to these, here's a quick story that you might not know about the Morgans. So they stopped producing the Morgans in 1904. So from 1904 to 1918, there was just nothing. That they transacted just like regular coins. Nobody really thought much about them. And in 1918, during World War I, Great Britain was going through a lot of trouble because Germany started to tell India, which was a British territory then, that they weren't going to redeem your silver. You could not get your silver. So there was an India panic where the Indians, which was controlled by Great Britain back then, that they weren't going to get their silver. And other territories started hearing the same thing. So there was a silver panic in 1918 during World War I with Great Britain. So in order to help Great Britain out, we sold them some silver. And to sell them some silver bullion, what the United States Mint did was melt so many Morgans. So a lot of these Morgans were just destroyed. A lot of these were just melted down, and that makes these even more rare than the stated mintage. There's actually a way. It's kind of hard to track because I don't think the mint had a real record of which ones they melted down. But you can look up the survival rate on these Morgans, and I'll see if I can just kind of post these on the screen as I talk. But so that was called the Pittman Act. So the Pittman Act, they melted down all of these silver. They melted all down the Morgan dollars for silver bullion, and that was to help Great Britain out. Well, in 1921, they decided to bring the Morgan dollar back. only for 1 year, and that was just to as like a commemoration, whatever. It's kind of weird actually the story behind that. But in 1921, they started making the peace dollar, and that was to celebrate the end of the war. So the if you ever see any of these are only minted for 1 year. Does not make them special. These are just bullion. The 1921 Morgans are hated. I didn't buy this today. I've had this, but I'm just there's a little story. So the main thing I'm getting to is they melted down a lot of Morgan dollars, and when they brought back the 1921, they lost the mold. They didn't have it on record, so they had to redesign this from scratch. And if you tell, even if you get, let's see, here's a good one. Here's a first year, 1878. And if you look and compare, you can see mainly the collar, and you can see the design just looks slightly off. So if you're ever going through Morgans like today, I went through well over 200. I probably went through about 250 Morgans today, and I got the best of the best that I could find for a reasonable price. You could tell that the design is just off. It's something to look for. So when you're going through Morgans and sorting through Morgans, if you see ones that almost look fake, but they're real, but they just look off, it's definitely a 21. You don't even have to look at the year, and you'll notice when you start sorting through Morgans. These are just flatter. They have no depth. You can see like the depth on here. Like the strike is just weak, and they just look like play money. So the 21s are just hated. So if you're ever going through Morgans, or if someone's trying to sell you a 21, just it's scrap. It's will melt. It's got about right now today. It's got nearly $30 melt. So I wouldn't pay more than 32 for a 21, and that's only if you want it for your stack. But when it comes to the previous years, the pre-21s, they do have some numismatic value. So I think the best one I bought today was the 04s. Now, looking at the mintage wise, I bought some to fill this book. Now, some of these are good $50, $60 coins here, no doubt, 50, 60, maybe slightly higher coins. Now, I do have a 1885S. This one is probably the lowest mint coin yet, 1.4 mil. Now, I didn't pay this price. I get a discount, but that's near retail for these coins. I would say the near retail for these coins are probably, let me take this out so we can see a little bit more. Near retail on this kind of condition coin might be close to $100. It really might be closer to 70, 80, maybe 90. It just really depends. But that's not what I paid for that coin that's written on here. And another one that I got today, this one, the 1886 O, and I didn't pay that price, but that's about retail, and maybe a little bit lower. These, I think the prices written on here were like retail price. But I think I'm going to be eventually selling this book. I want to see how far I can get these completed. But this right here is probably about a $60, $70 coin. 80 is just kind of a high retail. I would say 60 to 80 is fair. And for this coin, this is probably about a $70 to $90 coin. And the rest are probably $50 to $60 coins. So let's fill the book. So the first coin I'm going to be putting in this book is this 1878S. So I'll just kind of show it off a little bit. Nice luster. It's going right into here. And the next one will be this 1881 O. And I think that's on the next page. But the 1878S has a mintage of 9.7 mil. And this 180 has a mintage of 5.7 mil. So this one is pretty low mint for a Morgan. 5 mil is pretty low. And 1881 O right here. So I have this full roll finished now. And the third one is this 1884 P. Yep, so I'll show it off a little bit. And the mintage on here is 14 mil. This is more of a common one. Right beside the 1883S. And while I have this slot open, I'm going to correct this one because it came this way and I just never corrected it. And this one, I'll put the mintage on the screen. I don't know it right now because I didn't look it up before this video. But I know this is, I think it's like 6.7 mil or something like that. Might be lower. And the 1885S, this one has a mintage of 1.4 mil. This is really low. That's why that price is probably not far off the retail. This is a beautiful coin. There's some kind of light marks on the back. I'm not sure what that's from. Probably just toning for whatever previous album it was in. It's a beautiful coin. Really nice detail for a low mint coin. Uh, 1885S, right? Yep, 1885S, right here. And then the 1886O. 1886O. Okay, I already have one. Oh well. So this one will be put on eBay. Well, either one of these. I guess I'll just put this one on eBay. So there's 4 coins going on eBay. Bought a dupe, but it's okay. It's a nice one. The mintage on this coin, the 1886O, 7.9 mil. Oops. I do a lot of foreign coins, so sometimes I do flip coins sideways. But I know from all US coins, they flip vertical. So this one will be on eBay. And okay, so that's all for this book. So I'll show this book off because this one will eventually go on eBay. I'm just trying to see how far I can fill it before it gets too expensive. Like the CCs, I don't know if I'll try to source those. But I did sell 8-tail feather. I was bidding on a 7/8, but price just got too high. 7-tail feather is pretty common. So I'll just get one of those. That's pretty common. This is it's not that bad actually. I think the mintage on here is like 2.2 or 2.5 mil. It's not that bad. I might try to source that one. And these I'm going to source, just try to get a pretty good deal. So I'll go back. So there's 3 coins on this page so far. The 1878S, the 1879, and 1879S. And you can see the back. And on this page, there's 3 coins. The whole roll is complete. That's the 1881O, 1881S, and 1882. And then on this page, there's 3. Looks like there's 3 on each page, except for the back, there's 4. The 1882O, that's beautiful. And the 1883S, and the 1884. And here's on this page, we have the 1884O, the 1885S, the 1886, which has that beautiful like rainbow tone, a deep blue, like right around the rim, and the 1886O. And just look at the tone on that one. Let me take that out real quick because I just want to kind of showcase that one off a little bit. It's beautiful. I might have shown it off in one of the previous videos, but that tone is just beautiful. So this one will be for sale eventually. I'm just going to try to fill this album out a little bit more. But that's the way this coin came in this album. You can watch the previous video I made a couple of days ago when I bought this album. The album had, I think, 9 coins in it. And now, so we just put 4, I think. So now we have 13 Morgans in this album. All right, so now onto the other album. So this one, we're only filling 1 today. So 1891P. So 1891 P, right here, right beside the 1890S. So show this coin one more time, and this one has a mintage of 8.6, not that bad. All right, I'll showcase this album real quick, and I think that'll be it for this video. So in this one, we have the 1889 O, we have the 1890, 1890S, 1891, and 1896. This book is going to be pretty expensive. I don't know how much I'll fill this one. When you get closer to the 1892 to 1895, those are scarce coins, some of them. And then it starts picking up around the 1896. But then it kind of switches where I think the S is more rare and the O is less common. But before that, I think it was reversed. I think the S are pretty much all kind of low mint because they got to the mint, the San Francisco mint later in the year. But I'm going to see how far I can fill these, and then I'll put them on eBay. So these will be yours. One of you will own these eventually. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and comment, like, subscribe, share. Help us out. Thanks.